Matt read on. The editors regret any embarrassment caused Room 5 by the misleading article about their activities. Well, that's better, said Brad. Sounds as if maybe the editor is having a little fun, remarked Matt. No, he isn't. Ryan was serious. We really did write to the paper, said Brad, and the superintendent really did investigate mice at our school. Sorta. I guess we took care of that editor, said Ryan. Come on, Brad, let's go see if the cook will give us something to eat. Ralph watched the boys leave before he carefully polished every millimeter of his beautiful new car. Then he pushed his nest together for a nap while waiting for night to come. His day had been exciting, exhausting, and satisfying. Because of him, 2 boys had become friends. Ralph felt that he had done a good deed in a troubled world. Ralph awoke much later when the clock began to grind and groan and slowly, as if in pain, strike 11, the safe hour for mice to appear. Ralph was enjoying a good stretch when he saw 5 of his relatives peering at him. He's back, said one. And he's got a car, said another. A sports car, said a third. Instantly there was a clamor and confusion. Give me a ride, me first, stop shoving. I should be first because I'm the oldest. Get off my foot! Instead of getting excited and angry, Ralph stood calmly beside his car and looked at his relatives without speaking. Gradually the mice grew quiet. That's better, said Ralph. I can't hear anyone if you all speak at once. The mice were silent, listening. The way Room 5 had grown quiet and listened to Miss K. Look, class, fellows, said Ralph. If you get in line, you can take turns. This way you can each have a ride. Good idea, murmured the mice, who had never before thought of such a thing. Ralph was pleased with himself for putting his education to use. He climbed into his car and drove it out from under the clock. My oldest cousin first, he directed. His relative climbed into the passenger seat and pulled his tail after him. That's the way, said Ralph with approval. Now take a deep breath and we'll both go vroom. Together the cousins roomed around the lobby, down the hall and back, faster than Ralph could have driven alone. Next, Ralph said when he had returned his passenger, and by the way, he said to his relatives, and his next cousin in line climbed into the car. In school, human beings learn things by grades, so older human children learn harder things than younger human children. The mice caught on at once. Riding in a sports car is for older mice. One cousin said, it's too dangerous for little mice. We won't even tell our little relatives about it, said another. And there is a picture of the mice driving in the car. And Ralph. We can't keep them by messing up the lobby, said a third. We'll keep it a secret, said a fourth. Good thinking, complimented Ralph. As he and his cousin sped down the hall, Ralph was happy. He felt proud because he had helped Miss K educate her class, and he was humble enough to admit that he had learned from the children too, even though he never did find out where Miss Heidi K kept her toothpaste. He guessed it really didn't matter. Epilogue. When Brad's father came to the Mountain View Inn in his tow truck to take Brad home, he met Ryan's mother. 6 months later, they were married, and Ryan and Brad became brothers. They all lived in a house in Cucaracha, California. Ryan was pleased to have a father, and Brad was happy to have a mother. Most of the time, the boys were glad to be brothers. And Ralph, the boys decided the dog Arfie might take interest in a mouse for the wrong reasons. Ralph remained behind the inn, where he rides every night in his sports car, generously giving rides to his relatives and enjoying their company now, and they have been gifted from his education. He's strict about one thing, however. Ralph is the only mouse who sits in the driver's seat of the Laser XL7.